Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of CometTalk. I'm Leland O'Brien.
I'm Lauren.
And I'm also wearing a raincoat because it's St. Patrick's Day and I'm wearing green, but we have a green screen, so can't wear it. So if I look like a goof, you know why. So we're going to jump right into it like we do every week with the top stories of the week. Do you want to go first? I think it definitely is the number one story of the week.
Okay, so for my story, it's with the emissions scandal. If you watch the news or you go on Twitter or anything, you basically know the generalization of it. So Lori Loughlin and a woman from Desperate Housewives and amongst 50 other people were caught in an emissions scandal where they were paying this guy, which made it look like it was through a foundation, so they could get a tax write-off for it, to get their kids into college. There was multiple ways they were doing it. So they would have take their kids to a private setting for ACT or SAT testing and have a proctor that he paid to do it. And if they didn't want their kid to know after they left, the proctor would change their answers for it to be more correct. And then, which is weird because one of the people who did it for their PSAT, they got
which doesn't even really count.
They got 1150, right? And then when they took it, they got a 1700.
Oh my gosh.
If I don't know, maybe if I was college board, I'd be like, oh, that's a little suspicious.
Right.
Let me go show me proof that you took a class,
right,
kind of thing. And then Lori Loughlin, she's more her and the other person are more well known because they're known for Fuller House and Full House and Desperate Housewives because they're actresses, public eye, and her husband is a designer. And she paid this man, I forgot his name, so she paid him $500,000
to get her into college.
To get her daughters Isabella and Olivia into school on a rowing scholarship, but these girls never played row. They never rowed the boat. And yeah. And the fun thing about it is their kids knew about it. The one actress who got caught, Felicity Huffman, I think it is.
Mm-hmm.
When she got caught, her daughter, son, I don't know, I think it's a daughter, had no knowledge of it. But her daughter Olivia, she's getting a lot of backlash because she knew because she posed with the rowing thing for the scholarship picture.
And a lot of them are photoshopped. They try to Photoshop pictures.
So
it's crazy. All right. So that's more of a pop culture story. For our political story, I don't know if we've covered it here on this show yet or not, but finally, after all the government shutdowns, Donald Trump, our president, declared a national state of emergency about the crisis at the border. And just recently, the Senate blocked the declaration by a vote of 59 to 41 or something.
Yeah, it was
so, and the biggest part about this story is that they got a certain amount of, I think it was 14 Republicans.
Yeah, 14 Republicans switched.
To switch.
And then Mitt Romney was one of them.
Right, so.
And Mark Rubio.
He's got to get the party under control because this is a big issue that I think is going to make a big difference in 2020. But we'll see. So what they blocked was basically just sending money to the border. So originally the president was going to take money from other projects, such as developing on military bases throughout the country. So the Senate just blocked the transferring of money to there. So now we're going to get into our quick picks, which are just some other stories that we thought should be included. I'm going to start with a Netflix show that has gained a lot of attention. It got canceled after 3 seasons. It's called One Day at a Time. It was number one trending on Twitter. It was
Never watched it.
You've never seen it, but I've watched all 3 seasons, and it has Rita Moreno in it, who's a really famous actress. They covered a lot of Rita Moreno. Okay, well maybe it's not our generation.
Going right over my head.
But the hashtag was save ODAAT, save One Day at a Time. So we'll see if they get to another show. It was a big thing. A lot of people were angry about it.
Yeah. Do you want to do mine?
Yes.
Okay, so my story, it's more it's funny for people who are older, and stuff, but for our generation, a lot of people are freaking out about it. So Facebook, Instagram, and I think Snapchat. Was it Snapchat?
I think Snapchat was one of the only ones.
But
Kick, I know.
Kick, and all these other social media sites were just shutting down, not working. Instagram would not reload. And then when you would go to your profile, it would log you out and not let you log back in. That happened to some of my Ariana and people doing study hall. And mine was working perfectly fine. So I was I don't know what's going on with you guys.
Big glitch.
Yeah.
Another thing we have, I love to keep up with the 2020 election. And Connor was with me one time, and we predicted if Beto O'Rourke or Joe Biden would run, and I said neither of them would run. Well,
you're wrong.
I'm wrong. Beto O'Rourke did just announce that he is running for president. He did just run against Ted Cruz in 2018 for a Senate seat, and now he gained a lot of attention, so now he thinks that he can run for president.
Yeah.
Another story is the president's former campaign manager, who was only his campaign manager for a short period of time, Paul Manafort, just got sentenced to 3 more years. So he was sentenced for 3 years before, and now he just got an additional sentencing, so now he will be in jail for a total of 6 years. But I think the lawyers will maybe probably work it out.
Do you think
so
do you think Trump will pardon him though?
Oh yeah, that's a huge thing. You should talk about this with your advisory.
Yeah.
Um,
was
So the president does have the power to pardon people if he thinks that a sentencing is unfair. So it doesn't matter who it is, and a lot of people think that because he's his former campaign manager that he will.
I know people were saying for like when he first got the 3 years that Trump might not pardon him just because that's such a short amount of time. And I think with like the 6 years, it's more possible like you might see it, but also like 6 years in your life is relatively a short time. So it really just depends on like how he feels about it. So.
Yeah, we'll see. Stay tuned. All right, is that it?
Yeah.
All right, we're good for quick picks. So now we're gonna go right into our hot takes. I'll go first.
Yeah.
I was sick a few weeks ago, so I was watching a lot of daytime TV, and I watched a lot of the show called The View. I'm sure a lot of you guys have probably heard of it. They make a lot of news of the things that they say. It's just a bunch of ladies on there talking about hot topics. And so Whoopi Goldberg, who I'm sure many of you have heard of, got double pneumonia and has been absent from the show for a month and a half. And she almost died, and it was a big deal. But she did just come back, and she surprised the guests on the show. And I guess why I'm making this a hot take is that even though that those ladies go at each other's throats like every day about politics and pop culture issues, like the fact that they were so excited for one of their own to return, like I think it was a great microcosm for our nation in terms of we can disagree politically, but we can still love each other and support each other and wish each other to be healthy.
It's like you and me.
Yeah.
If you know us, you know we better.
So that's my hot take. I think that we should still love each other despite our political opinions.
Okay, so mine's kind of has to do with like the emissions scandal. So her daughter, Olivia Jade, a YouTuber, and her daughter was known, like she makes YouTube videos, but on the day that her mom was being sentenced and everything, she was on the yacht of the chairman of trustees at USC for spring break. And this just kind of makes me mad because I feel like nothing's gonna happen.
Yeah,
Like,
so
I feel like if it was just like me, someone whose parents like aren't famous, I'd be like, ooh, you're gonna be kicked out of school, all your credits will be stripped from you. But it just shows like if you have wealth and you're gonna get like things kind of handed to you, because I feel like her and her sister or anybody who got this is just gonna be like, oh well, you can keep your credits, you can keep that, which isn't fair.
It's so annoying. We'll see what their punishment is though.
Hopefully there's some like some type of punishment.
I think they've already started working on.
Okay.
So they're working a lot of it already. I know that the two famous ones especially have
I know
already
Lori
gone
Loughlin, she was on $100 million bail.
Yep.
And
Wow.
I don't know about Felicity Huffman, but that's a lot of money. And she got out, like, she's out on bail. And, like, I know if I was in jail for $1 million bail, I'd just be sitting there rotting. Like, I'd just be chilling, making some new friends.
We'll have to make sure to update next week to see how it all turns out. All right.
Bye.
That's it.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching. We'll see you again next week. Have a wonderful Carthage day.